Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa.
Agricha, garden eggs, aubergine, some people might call it, eggplant maybe. Nyadwa. In Ghana, how do you say it? Okay. Just leave your comments below and help me with that. Yeah, definitely. Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in for another exciting episode. My name is Fafa, and do you know what I love? I love cooking. And I also love creating recipes, enhancing the natural flavors of the dish. So each recipe is tried and tested, and I'll tell you what is it's incredible. So if you want to improve your home cooking skills, definitely this is the channel for you. This dish, I have used some incredible elements, both that are traditional Ghanaian ways of making this dish, as well as Middle Eastern ways. So we have got some similarities without a doubt. And I've just fused them together to say I'll worry on. I'll tell you what, it was divine, even if I say so. Yeah, just a little tweak, something.
So for this recipe, I will be using goat meat. Yes, it's lean and it's flavor packed anyway. So I've added 1 habanero chili because it's going to give that aromatic flavor to it. And I've got my holy grail, which is my garlic, ginger, aniseed, and onion that I have blended together. And I'm just going to add that and marinate this just for about an hour. Absolutely. But then again, you can pre-marinate this and place it in the freezer. And as when your recipe requires it, you take it out, you defrost it, and then you cook. Now, as I always mention, I do not like any waste. So, of course, when I did blend that mixture of my garlic, ginger, aniseed, and onion, I rinsed the blender and I then poured the water and everything in there. Now, next thing is I'm building upon my flavors because I'm now going to steam my goat meat, which is going to take about 35 to 45 minutes to cook and soften perfectly. So, garden eggs, a variety of aubergine or eggplant, may I say, and this is a type that we do use. The pearl-like looking ones is what we use in Ghana the most. So what I'm doing is char grilling it because I need that smoky flavor. I mean, if you have watched this channel so far, you know it's all about the infusion of flavors and enhancing the flavors of each ingredient. Yes, and this is a very traditional method in terms of char grilling vegetables in Ghana. So absolutely. And also with the Middle Eastern, when you're making Ganoush, they also grill the aubergines and then mix it with some sesame seeds and stuff. And I have got the recipe. I'll leave that in the description box below so you can look at it. So these are fusion of flavors. But then again, we do so as well in Ghana. So same difference, absolutely. So now that I've grilled and char grilled my garden eggs, I've also got half left and I'm just going to boil it in this very standard way. So what you do is take the stalk off and then you divide it in two. Now I'm going to place my saucepan with some water and I'm going to bring it to the boil and add my garden eggs. I'm going to boil this till it's cooked, and that will take between about 10 to 15 minutes to do so. So once that is done, I know that yes, this is happening. Now, when you're boiling your garden eggs, I like to infuse it with flavor. So I do add an onion and also some habanero chili because they add this amazing flavor infused into the garden eggs. So the garden eggs come slightly aromatic and spicy, and it has that beautiful, refreshing oniony taste as well. So you see, every ingredient has been enhanced. And no, do not throw the water away when you finish because that can be a stock for your next dish. Could be when you're making your soup or anything, you can use that, absolutely. So once you char grill your garden eggs, as you can see here, leave it to cool down or until you can touch, and then slice it as normal. Because we're going to be blending this mixture, we're going to mix it with the cooked garden eggs as well. So it's going to be smoky and, just enhancing that flavor. The cooked one has that infusion of the onion and that habanero chili going through. So if you do have the petit bell chilies, which is locally known as kwakbushuto, you can also include that. I've got 2 large tomatoes that I've also chopped, and I've got my onions as well. So, you can see that these are like simple ingredients. And equally, you can make this a vegetarian dish by omitting, obviously, the goat meat completely. And you can use, potatoes instead. Absolutely, why not? So anyway, as I did mention, I'm going to be blending this beauty. So yes, I'm just adding my smoky garden eggs. Flavor I baba me untomo poma probably flavor I'm a vaga I no fine tomo poma hair. And I'm going to add the normal garden eggs which I've boiled. So when you boil it and it's cooked, it becomes like almost just soft and golden like, as you can see here. And I'm just adding that, and the habanero chili, everything is going in there. And now look at this. You can see this is flavor. Look at that. You can see those speck of smokiness coming through. And it's just incredible. Yes. Equally, if you want to use the Ghanaian earthenware pot with internal ridges, which is known as the asanka, you can grind this in. So I'm now going to check on my goat meat. And the thing is, I'm going to divide my goat meat in 2 because I've got an incredible recipe that I am going to use half the goat meat for as well. So it's called improvising. You budget in as well. Because, things can be expensive. So with this, I'm like, nah, rather than just make one dish, I can make 2 different dishes. Yes, and that will just last you for the week, and it's just incredible. Now, this is a time that I do add my salt to my meat, because when you add it earlier, what happens is the meat takes longer to cook. So now it's like, yes, I'm adding the salt to taste, and I'm loving the stock, because the stock is also going to help me for my next recipe. Oh, no. I hope you guys are definitely inspired to try this recipe, and I am giving you reasons to click the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet, and also the notification button, which is the bell next to it. What that means is each time I upload a video, you are notified of it and you do not miss a thing. So yes, I have divided my meat in 2, and at this point I'm adding my zumi. Yes, which is the spiced Ghanaian palm oil. But yeah, you can use any palm oil that you do have available, or any other oil you prefer. If you want to use some coconut oil, you can, and you can just add a little bit of turmeric to it to give it that color, or your smoked paprika, which will give it that rouge color as well. Anyway, now the thing is, when I've always mentioned this, the kind of zumi that I do use when I go to Ghana is just incredible. It's so creamy and it's the best ever. The ones that I do get here, they do have this slight taste that I try to get away from. So what I tend to do is add my palm oil now, and because I've got the spices and everything, the goat meat, that's just going to cook and infuse into the oil, and it's just going to take that taste that I don't particularly like away. So add your blended tomatoes to your mixture so that it can actually just cook nicely and beautifully. And this is the time that if you do have some Kobe pieces, which is the Ghanaian salted fish, usually one uses tilapia for that. Yes, you add a few to it, so that gives it that umami flavor. Now in the absence of that, what you can use is salted anchovies here in the UK. So, you can buy this. They're readily available in most supermarkets, and just add it to it. So you're infusing it. You add in that umami flavor. Just build it. So bearing in mind, we've got that smokiness coming through. You've got that whole aniseed, ginger, garlic, onion thing cooking. You've got the goat meat's flavor. You've got the tomatoes. You've got the onions. And the palm oil now has infused itself. So it's just incredible. And guess what? It's raining onions. Yeah, you should know that by now. Yes, absolutely. Now, you do need a lot of onions for this dish. Reason is because the garden eggs do have the slight bitter taste. So we're balancing the flavors here. And onion, when you cook it down, becomes sweeter. You've got the tomatoes as well, which also becomes sweeter. So that just works well and perfectly. So now look at this. You can see it's just cooked just nicely for about 8 to 10 minutes on that medium to low heat. So once you regulate the heat, it means that you cook everything perfectly. You look at that. This is not any other food. Oh, this is Ndudu by Fafa. And this is the point that I'm going to be adding the smokiness now today. Look at that. Blop. Only corner near. Go check the new orange will take time. New enhance flavor say, baby then check out that no here wakashi. Ne. And only call no could be able to feel with me. It blom like can't turn up Pocoviana, thank you better no than So now I'm going to be mixing everything together and I'm just going to allow this to cook nicely for about 5 to 6 minutes. And you can see it's just bubbling perfectly. Now you do remember that I did reserve half the goat meat. So to add that texture and to add that, extra, sort of meaty texture to it, imagine some mushrooms. Now this is entirely optional, but I had the mushrooms and I was like, yeah, let me just add that to it because it means that the stew would, go a long way for me. Absolutely. So I've just added that and I'm just mixing everything together till it's well combined. So naturally, as I said, if you want to make a vegetarian one, you can use your mushrooms and potatoes or yam cubes as well, not a problem, or even your green plantain. Yes, and omit the goat meat altogether. Why not? Yes, absolutely. So I think this is almost done. Oh, shit. Now, of course, I'm going to add my salt to taste. Yes. And then once you add your salt, I'm using the pink Himalayan salt, but you can use any sea salts there of your choosing anyway. I'm going to mix everything together. And guess what? It's really more onions. Not too much, though. But just because I like the crunch, you see. When the food is ready and then you're biting into it, you've got the amazing goat meat that is flavor packed. Oh yes, now let me stop and let me talk about this. So I've just added a little bit of that smoky paprika. This is optional, but that just gives it an incredible smoky taste as well. Not too much, just so. You can omit it all together, but also if you don't have that, what you can do is get some red peppers and char grill the red peppers and mix it and add to it. Yes, it goes a long way. So yeah, I'm mixing this mixture together and we'll say yes, this is almost done. All I now need to do is some ketchup, it looks all like battery yellowy. So yeah, there's some spring onions that count now today. Yeah. It had to be an onion as well. Oh, yeah. And you're playing your onion for yeah. Nobody can get rid of onions. I'm slightly obsessed with onions. Oh, God. Yeah, my name is Fafa, and I'm addicted to onions. Just when you think it's done, oh no. I'm just going to sprinkle this gorgeousness with some roasted peanuts. Yes, so I'm just playing on that flavor. If you watched my ABOM recipe, I do add some roasted peanuts to the char grilled aubergine that I do grind. So you see that infusion. So now this is going to be that texture. So you're just going to be biting into this. You bite into the onion and then you crunch into the roasted peanuts. It's a flavor you're familiar with. It's just done differently. That Ndudu, look at this. And to have a conversation with your guest, so I've just done is just left half of that roasted garden eggs. What is this? Then yes, the conversation begins. As I say, it's not any other food, it's Ndudu by Fafa.
Yeah, for me. Hey. Oh, fair. But she says it's not what I am. What's it here? Then the one is here. What do you and ten no I Hey, go to bed there for me dear. Hey, and one Uza.
I mean, the ingredients that are readily available in Ghana are just incredible. They're fresh, they're nutritious, they're just so And I just can't wait to create more recipes, definitely. Now, naturally, I believe in the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog, ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Ndudu. Do follow me and do say hi. Don't be a stranger. Now, until next time, you take care of you. Be nice, be beautiful. And guess what? I love you for you. Mirase, akbalo, merci beaucoup. Thank you.